Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Bob Parker, and I'm here tonight with Jack McManus to tell you a little bit about our upcoming induction for our Hall of Fame banquet. A little bit of history about our Hall of Fame. We started back in 1982. Organization was put together by Bill McAvoy, God bless him, a dear friend and a mentor to many people. Our 24th induction banquet will be done this year, finally at DiBurro's, after having to postpone it for 3 times. Our organization inducts individual athletes who excelled in their sport or sports, teams that have been outstanding at North Andover High School, coaches who have had a tremendous success with wins and losses, but also as well as having a tremendous effect and influence on their players, administrators who have proactively endorsed athletics at the high school, and finally a category of community athletic contributors, people who have spent a great part of their life contributing in the background, helping young kids in North Andover. We have 188 athletes that have been inducted at this point and 9 teams. Now I'll turn it over to Jack McManus, and Jack will tell you a little bit about the individuals, teams that are going to be inducted. Jack?
Thank you, Bob. Should be an exciting night, particularly after these delays due to COVID. This year, we have 8 different inductions. There will be 2 community contributors, 5 great athletes, a coach, and a great hockey team. First, with regard to the contributors, if you've lived in this area, this town I should say, over the last 2 or 3 decades, you've got to know Vinnie Valentino and Donna Marinelli. Both have served this town and the children, young athletes, selflessly over the last 40 years, supporting kids at the booster club level and high school level and in other community actions. Well-deserved on their parts. With regard to the athletes, we've got Donna Lagana Silva, who was a tremendous basketball player on an '84 team, also a great softball player. Christine Gillespie, Ostrosky, was a great 3-sport athlete at the high school and had a fabulous career up at Colby as well. Lenny Annaloro was a Cape Ann League All-Star in both football and track. He'll be going in. Jimmy Conley, anyone in the lacrosse circles know this kid, had a tremendous career both in basketball and lacrosse. And I believe when he left North Andover High, he was the state scoring champion all time. Finally, Harry, this is posthumously, by the way, Harry McPherson, who left North Andover High School at the age of 17 and went, believe it or not, in the 1940s, went directly to the Boston Braves as a starting pitcher. An amazing story, and all of these athletes' contributions and achievements over their high school time will be elaborated at the event on October 30th. With regard to the coach, McVeigh, don't have to talk much about him. 39 years, winningest basketball coach in Merrimack Valley history, and just a tremendous contributor to both the high school as a teacher, coach, not to mention his kids, who contributed well as well to our high school. Finally, the 1984-85 hockey team. Tremendous team, loaded with talent, went all the way to the state finals, and had several players play on in college, and believe it or not, 2 of these young men reached the NHL. So it should be a very exciting evening, and interesting as well, with given the wide range of athletes and contributors, etc. Bob?
Okay, I'd like to tell you a little bit about our tickets for the event. The Johnson North Andover High School Athletic Hall of Fame induction ceremony will take place on Saturday, October 30th at DiBurro's in Bradford. Festivities will begin at 6 p.m. Tickets for the event are now on sale from October 4th through October 15th. They can be purchased at $50 each at North Andover High School Athletic Department between 8 a.m. and 2 p.m., at Stachey's Restaurant at 9 High Street in North Andover, or by emailing Susan Sturdivant. Her email address is susan_Sturdivant@yahoo.com, or you can reach her by calling her at 978-374-0598. We are expecting a great turnout for this, and so I would highly recommend that you get your tickets pretty early. The banquet itself will start at 6 o'clock, and our format is pretty much to have hors d'oeuvres being served, and then set up stations where we have a salad bar, a pasta bar, and followed by some desserts. So get your tickets. We do expect a great turnout to honor these tremendously deserving athletes, coaches, and teams. Jack's going to tell you a little bit more here about our process and our role as the committee that selects the athletes. Jack?
Just before that, Bob, I do want to mention DiBurro's has been an excellent spot. The food is great, the service is great, the facility is fabulous. But kind of sad to note, a lot of people realize this, DiBurro's is closing. They'll obviously take care of us here this fall, but I think come the new year in 2022, that property's been sold and is going to be redeveloped.
Right,
So kind of
right.
sad.
Yeah, it is.
We'll be
We've been
looking for
there.
another
We've
location for
been
the
there
next
many
induction.
times,
Yes,
many times.
we have.
Yeah.
With regard
Excuse me.
to inductees, people have to understand, we as a committee do not select inductees. We simply screen who has been nominated. So anyone who knows an athlete, a coach, a contributor, or an administrator that is deserving, you need to nominate these people. Nomination papers can be found online or at the local library, Stevens Library, at the high school athletic office, or at Town Hall. And again, this is not an elaborate or complicated process with regard to filling out these papers. Get the information on there, submit, and we'll review it. We do not select these inductees. It's up to the public to make those nominations. So keep that in mind, and we are always looking for new nominees. Well,
Okay, thank you, Jack. I'd just like to mention as we close up here, want to tell you that DiBurro's has been working very closely with us on spacing, seating, spraying all tables, etc., and taking all sanitary precautions as they possibly can. Speaking for the committee, we'd like to ask your cooperation as we have this celebration and all social events that are going on. Also like to thank Cam for allowing us to appear here, and would also like to point out, we thank all the sponsors and organizations from the town of North Andover who have helped us put together a 64-page ad booklet to help defray our costs for the banquet, the flowers, the plaques, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So we thank you very much, and on behalf of Jack, myself, and the whole committee, we hope to see you October 30th at DiBurro's to honor some great teams, coaches, administrators, and community contributors.
Yep.
Thank
And
you so.
I should mention
Go ahead, Jack.
quickly, Bob, this is a great night. Athletes, et cetera, that are well-deserving. But in the end, we ultimately fund a scholarship, scholarships. And it's important, obviously, to have our people who are interested to come out and enjoy the evening. And any any money that's raised beyond our basic costs will go to our scholarships, and that's something that's been contributed to for a number of years now.
Yes, the scholarship Jack's referring to is the Michael Byron
Yes.
Scholar Athlete Award, selected for one male and one female at the high school each year, to which we support this and endorse, pay for
Yeah.
this $1,000 scholarship for 2 different people.
Yep.
So thank you very much, and look forward to seeing everyone.
Good night. Thank
Good
you.
night. Thank you.